Live from Johannesburg, this is eNCA. Good morning, I'm Shahan Ramkisoon. Thanks for joining us. Tell us what you think of our top stories. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at eNCA. You can also track our main stories using the following hashtags: ANC Veterans and Tembisile Yende. But this leads our bulletin. ANC stalwarts and veterans are planning to boycott the party's National Policy Conference. That's after their pleas for a special standalone conference went unheard. For more on this, we're joined on the line by ANC stalwart Wally Serote. Thanks so much for your time, sir. We do appreciate it. Can you just tell us why you're no longer going to this conference after initially agreeing?
First of all, let us say that we are the ones who initiated the discussions about the National Consultative Conference with the current leadership of the ANC, stating that the crisis of the ANC can only be discussed, diagnosed, and understood by a protracted process of discussion between the stalwarts and the leadership of the ANC. And that out of that should come the resolutions of how we then rescue the ANC, we save the ANC, we claim the ANC's history to be in touch with the people of this country. Our discussions were over a period of 4 months, and our impression at all times when we were in that meetings was that the leadership did not want to understand the crisis of the ANC. The leadership were not keen to engage and commit to the protracted process of the National Consultative Conference. They offered that we do that in 2 days before the National Policy Conference. And we said that is not possible. It is this which broke the discussions between us and them. And we have made it very clear that we are going to then organize a National Consultative Conference to still deal with the issues that we raised. We are brought together as stalwarts, members of the ANC, who participated in various levels of the ANC as a liberation movement. We brought together by the understanding that the ANC is in a crisis and we must save it. So I think we should say, in principle, that's where we differed with the current leadership of the ANC. And therefore, we will embark in September on the conference. We have started organizing ourselves. We have started talking to different structures of the ANC about the conference in September.
So will that conference then actually have the top 6 in attendance or not?
Well, we will invite every ANC member, including the top 6, to that conference.
Now, we saw Gwede Mantashe saying to journalists just last month that the ANC will cancel the 2-day special consultative conference unless stalwarts and veterans agree that it forms part of the policy conference. We knew this was coming from last month, but up until yesterday, we only find out that this is not going to have a consultative conference aspect to it. Why so late?
Well, you know, as the Secretary General of the ANC, as a leader of the ANC, has the right to announce whatever he announces, and we heard him say so. But he is very clear, and we are very clear, that in our discussions broke down. And hence our saying, we are continuing with the National Consultative Conference, which will give itself time to probe to the deepest possible depth about the crisis of the ANC and find the solutions as to how the ANC must be closer to the people, rid itself of corruption, state capture, and be a people's movement as we know it.
But, sir, how are you going to make any of those recommendations a reality if you have the top 6 saying we actually don't want to attend it? Those can only be purely recommendations.
There will be recommendations, but there will be recommendations discussed by ANC members. You know, at the present moment, we can say to you that, for instance, the Eastern Cape has had its provincial consultative conference. Other provinces will do so. And together, we'll find a voice that says, in order for us to save and claim the ANC, this is what we have to do. But a discussion has to happen among us as members of the ANC, as stalwarts, and as other sectors of our organization.
So what do you make of the policy conference that's going to happen this weekend? Can we as South Africans take any of the discussions seriously? Do we think there will be a proper address of issues like state capture, for instance, which is mentioned in some of the documents that the ANC has in front of it?
As you know, we are not going to participate, but we are going to be sending a message to our comrades who will be participating there, to say to them it is extremely important that the results of the National Policy Conference are such that the crisis of the ANC is identified for what it is, and that the decisions are taken as to how to correct it. If the conference fails to do that, it will not convince anybody in South Africa that the conference had anything to do with saving the country from the crisis that it is plunged into daily. The onus is on the members who are participating there to ensure that they reclaim the policies of the ANC, they reclaim the discipline of ANC members to serve the people, and that they ensure that the ANC serves the people of South Africa and the country. That is the role that the conference must play. Let us see whether it does so.
Now, do you not think it would have still been in the interest of the ANC and South Africans for veterans to attend this conference despite your differences?
Well, it would have been worthwhile to attend if it was certain that the issues that need to be addressed are going to be addressed honestly and sincerely. But we are not convinced that that is so. If we go by our discussions with the top six of the ANC and some of the NWC members and the NEC members who would renege at decisions that we jointly took at any time, we are not convinced that they were committed to ensuring that they understand the depth of the crisis of the ANC and how that crisis has plunged South Africa into a crisis itself.
What did they say that didn't convince you? What were they not willing to budge on?
Well, for instance, if you say you want to discuss such a very serious matter involving the constitution of the country, involving almost the legitimacy of parliament, involving corruption, deep-seated corruption, involving state capture in 2 days, and that you say in 2 days we'll get solutions to that problem. It is an indication of you not understanding the depth of the problem. And that was our problem.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it.